There is an art to reading your opponent, and in this very video I will reveal to you the tools and techniques to give you the upper hand. I stated in a previous video something called advanced Paceman. It's when you force your opponent to do exactly what you wanted them to do. Now, there's one way you can effectively say you force your opponent into something for simple mode. However, in standard mode there is a second way called zone trapping. For all you fighting games people out there, this is mental frame trapping. Ran made a video on this, so I'll link it in the comments below in case you're interested. But before we get to the other one, I'm going to have to explain some more advanced techniques, so buckle your seatbelts because we're taking a deep dive into this game's mechanics. Angles and curves. I didn't cover this before, so I'm going to touch on it now, but there are two ways to use each type of shot other than the lob and drop shot: single tap and double tap. A single tap will give you a better angle with less speed, while a double tap will give you more speed but less of an angle. Pretty straightforward, but there is a catch when it comes to certain characters. A single tap may give you a smaller curve and a slower ball, while a double tap will give you a faster ball with a greater curve. They all have their uses, but I'll have to explain them in a separate video. Position. I covered this in regards to reaching a ball and returning it, but there is another way to use this mechanic, and it's to increase the angle on shots. You'll notice this with star shots because they force the player to go into the sky, which in theory will give them a wider area to return the ball to. Placing yourself behind the ball and facing towards where you want to return the ball, and being on the opposite side of the ball to where you aren't going to return the ball to, will give you two different angles. Unless you're playing with a technical character, which again is a discrepancy, and I'll explain more of this in separate videos. Ball bounce. Waiting for the ball to bounce will actually give you a greater angle on the ball returned. Hence why you'd want to wait for the ball to bounce before hitting it. Usually the ball will not bounce until it reaches near the end of the court stage, especially with flat shots being used all the time. So you'd ideally get the greatest angle from the back. However, in doing so, you open yourself up for drop shots, unless you force your opponent to leap or break form in order to hit the shot. This can be optimized by utilizing your positioning to get the greatest angle. Now, combining all these things together is complicated because each character will react differently to these mechanics, and in doing so will cause different playstyles. With all that explained, I'm going to break down characters individually with separate videos posted on this channel. I'll be starting off with Tora, however do let me know which characters you'd like to see in the comments below. So if you want to know when those come out, hit subscribe, and if you liked what you saw, hit the like button. Drink lots of water, get plenty of rest, and I'll see you next time.